Welcome back, and I'm going to introduce you to the first very important components of how to say swing, which is JFrame. What is JFrame? JFrame is a Java class, of course, in order to build a great graphic user interface. Let's just look at this Windows. Okay, JFrame is a Java class which is used to represent this Windows. Okay, it is a Java class to build this Windows. Okay, that one is called a JFrame. So let's just create a new Java class in order to demonstrate about this one. For all of the Java components for all of the Java application Swing application, you can create these. You can create the Swing components either by code, or you just design it. And I'm gonna choose, let's say, the simple approach, which is we're gonna design it. We're not gonna code it, but we're gonna show what properties it is. So the first one is the JFrame. So we're gonna create this one. Is gonna be this one is gonna be for NetBeans project, and we're gonna choose for anyone can code. Okay, and CC, and we're going to place new folder. This one is Swing. Then we're going to open, and this one we're going to have JFrame Demo. Please remember, don't name your project with JFrame only, because if you name that project with JFrame only, or you're going to override the Swing JFrame class. Okay, and we need to use it. That's why don't name it. In my case, I have demos over there, so it's fine. So finish. Okay, and when we created this application, okay, let me just demonstrate simply what it is first. Before I'm just gonna go through the coding approach once, and later on I'm just gonna go to the design approach. And for the coding approach, in order to code a frame, we're going to do this one, JFrame. Okay, frames one equal to new. Okay, control space JFrame, and remember that JFrame is from javax.swing package, and this one is what we are learning about. Okay, javax.swing, and inside this JFrame, you can have option to specify the graphics configuration, specify the die chart as well for the JFrame, and I'm going to specify the die chart for this one. This one is the first frame. Okay, first frame. And once you create the frame like this, it's not display. So in order to display it, you're gonna say frame one dot set visible. You could use this one show, however it's called. However, it is right now the obsolete method, so deprecated method. So you should use the set visible equal to true method. This one is going to show the frame. Okay, so everything inside Java gonna be everything inside your application or inside Java application gonna be represented using a Java class. You see, so we would like to create a frame, or you're gonna would like to create a Windows. You're gonna use a Java Swing class, which is JFrame. You create a new object for it, and you call the set visible to set this frame or this object, or the one represent the Windows to be visible. So we're going to click on run to run this project, and you're going to see the frames over there with the die chart. Okay, then you're going to see the frame over here with the die chart. The frame is here. Okay, I need to resize this one. So this one is the first frame. Okay, this one is first Java frame, which is our frames over there, which is a Java class we created. It's from a Java object of JFrame class, and when you run it, it's going to create this object. And you see, when the first time we run, the size is collapsed like this, and it's kind of difficult to see. So we will have the option to set the size. Okay, frames one dot set size. Okay, to the let's say width is 200 and the height is 200. Okay, the width is 200 and the height is 200. So if we run this one, okay, we didn't stop the one before. Okay, just stop it first, and okay, then we can click on run here. Okay, and if we run the project now, you'll see it has the fixed size right now, which is 200 by 200. Okay, 200 by 200. Another issues with coding the JFrame object manually like this is that when you close it, okay, your application is not stopped, because inside your application you may have many windows, means many JFrames, and if you close one, it's gonna it's gonna finish the application. It's not right. Okay, if you only have one, or if you close the main one, it's gonna close the application, it's fine. But if you have 3 windows inside application, if you close one of them, it's gonna finish the whole application. It's not right. So in this case, we have only one window. So what we want is, if we close this frame, it's gonna finish the application. It's gonna end the application. So we're going to do it this way: frame 1 dot. Okay, frame 1 dot. So this one we need to set size. Okay, this one we need to set size. This one we need to, let's say, this one we need to, let's say, set the default close operation. Okay, so frame 1 dot set default close operation, which is I'm gonna set into one of the JFrame option or JFrame constants, which is exit on close. Okay, exit on close. So whenever we exit the windows, it's gonna finish the whenever we close the windows or the frames. Okay, the windows and the JFrame object, I'm gonna use them interchangeably because they are actually one. Okay, one is the one that user often see, and the one is that the term that the programmer use. JFrame is what the programmer use, and the windows, something like this, is what the user gonna call them. Okay, so if we run this application now, yeah, and if we close this application, it's going to finish application here. Okay, just by the way, we're gonna use the coding approach. So we're going to use the coding approach. So by the way, I'm going to create a quick label, to display on the JFrame using coding approach. Okay, so in order to create a label inside Java is a Java class too. So I'm use JLabel. Okay, JLabel. Normally label is gonna be prefixed with LBL. Label test equal to label welcome. Let's say equal to new JLabel object. Okay, and when you create a label, you have an option to specify the icon, the text to be displayed on the label, the other icons or horizontal alignments, or text and horizontal alignments, or all 3 of them. And in this case, we're going to simply use a label with a string on it or a text on it. So this string going to say welcome to Java Swing application. And when you create a JLabel, it doesn't mean that label is going to be displayed on the frame. So we need to set this label on the frame, or you need to add this label on the frame. But inside JFrame, we will not add the label to the frame directly, but we're going to add it into the content pane of the frame, and that content pane is an object of a container. Okay, an object of a container. Okay, container equal to the JFrame 1 dot get content pane. Okay, this one is a container, and you're going to, this one is a container of the JFrame 1, and we're going to add the label welcome into the container. So container dot add, we're going to add a component which is label welcome. Okay, and if we run this application, we'll see. Okay, we'll see the label welcome to Java Swing application is added into the JFrame windows. Okay, this one is the coding approach in order to create the Java Swing application. Okay, so just for me to show you the philosophy is anything that you see from here inside a Java application is going to be corresponding to a class from Java. Let's say if you see the whole Windows like this, it's going to be correspond to the JFrame object, okay, frame one of JFrame class. Okay, if you see a label like this, it's actually a JLabel class. There is a JLabel class created in the code behind. That one is coding approach. Okay, however, I'm going to let's say, however, I'm going to demonstrate the design approach of this application. Okay, when we use NetBeans, you can use this okay, natively or basically coding approach in order to create the graphical user interface, but it's gonna be somehow difficult and time taking. So instead of coding it manually like this, we can use the approach which is design the Swing application with the help of the tools which is our NetBeans. Okay. Now, in order to create a new application using design approach, so we're going to create a new project Java. This one is going to have JFrame design approach. Okay, JFrame design approach. Finish. Okay, then by default it's gonna create a main application like this, main file like this for your application, and in this case this kind of main is going to start with a console application, and I'm going to remove this. I'm gonna remove, delete, right click on this one. Okay, we're gonna right click on this one and delete this. Okay, delete this main file, and we're going to create new, and you're going to choose JFrame form. And if you don't see JFrame form over here, you're going to click on other, then we're gonna select on JSwing Swing GUI form. Okay, Swing GUI forms. Then you're gonna choose JFrame form over here. Next, okay, and we're going to normally the main class, the Java class can have many main classes, and the one who starts at the start time of the application is the one with the same name as the project name. So I'm going to make that one as a default one. So I'm going to copy this project name. Okay, select it and do not right click. Okay, select it and Control C, then select this one and Control V to paste it. Okay, we create a new main one, and you'll see whenever I created this JFrame, and if you look at the source code, okay, we created a JFrame design. It extends from JFrame as well, and it has the main methods, and the main will create a new object of JFrame design, which is JFrame, and it set it to be visible. Okay, and set it to be visible. So if you run this one, you'll see the JFrame over here. Okay, even though you don't code it again, but NetBeans will generate it for you, this line of code. And if you look at the design of this JFrame, you'll see the properties that we set last time, which is default close operation. This one is actually set the default one, which is exit on close already. It is default, you don't see, but actually it is default one is exit on close. That's why whenever you stop, okay, this one, okay, whenever you stop this one, it will finish the application as well. Okay, and it's also already set the preferred size. Okay, set the size of the preferred size of the application, okay, to 400, 300. That's why when you run, it's already have the size like that. In addition, if you haven't seen it here, you can go to Windows and Palette. Okay, Windows and IDE tools, and click on palette. From this palette, you'll see the set of components like this. Okay, and you could create a label. This one is a label. Drag and drop it on our application, and we're going to right click on this one. And click on edit text and say welcome to Java Swing, okay, tutorial. Okay, welcome to Java Swing tutorial. From here, you can create the JLabel on the frame like this. And actually, if you look back at the source code, even though you don't write the code for this one, but NetBeans generate the code for you. So NetBeans does declare a JLabel1 instance of label, just like we have how to say label welcomes over here. And if you wanna change the variable name, you can get back to this one and right click on this one, change the variable name to, let's say, label welcome. Okay, label welcome. So if you get to the source code, you'll see this label now change into label welcome, just like what we coded over here, label welcome. The next thing is we create a new JLabel manually like this one, but inside this approach, what we did is we just right click on this one, we edit text and we change the text. But actually what really happens inside here is you go into source code and you look at the generated code here, and you click on this one, you'll see our labels here is created as a new javax.swing.jlabel object. Okay, and NetBeans set the text for you. See, NetBeans set the text for you. So this one is just to show. That inside swing application, if you use a design approach, or what you see is what you get here. However, what really happening is this kind of thing is a Java object, okay, of corresponding Java classes. This one is JLabel, and the whole frame here is another Java object of the whole Java classes. Okay, and when you design here, NetBeans will have generating the codes for you. Just like this one. Okay, so in this video, I already introduced to you about the how to say swing components, and also the most important swing component, which is the top level container, which is the JFrame, and JFrame is used to represent the whole Windows. And another important point that introduced inside this point is you can have two approaches. Inside developing swing application. The first one is you can develop using manual codes like this. You can code manually everything, because anyway anything from Java that you see is actually object of some classes. So but another approach, if you use NetBeans with the tools of the design, okay, so you can just design the application like this. However, be sure that whenever you design your application, but what really happening is NetBeans will help you to generate the code anyway. Okay, okay. So I will see you in the next video, in which I'm going to introduce you to several of the other components, lightweight components. Okay, bye bye.